terms of architecture, it seems like quite a daring comparison, but if you look at Shanghai urbanism more closely, you discover that it has very much European-inspired neighborhoods, like French, German-inspired neighborhoods, which are very much remindful of European quarters, like you find them in very good quality in Basel. However, now the developments are much more driven by developers, huge developments like in Pudong area, which certainly are beyond the scale of a European city, or namely a Swiss city. But I think it would be good for Shanghai to learn from Basel, not to forget its heritage in terms of also more slowly growing and small-scale neighborhoods, because those are very, very interesting for people to live. Whereas Basel can learn from Shanghai in that it also adds large pieces, also high-rise pieces, to make the city fabric more interesting. So I think, in fact, both cities can look at each other and be inspired from each other. It is very narrow territory, that's why high-rise is certainly an option. But it's a three-national city, so the city shouldn't only grow in Switzerland, but also in Germany and France, and that's what is happening. The city is growing also in these parts. To make it a three-national metropolis, that's also a field that we are actively involved in. Well, I think it's quite difficult partnerships between cities, but I think every city has to define what she wants from the other one, and I can only speak from the Basel side. And clearly, Basel has a strong interest in having more people from Shanghai, more human capital. Chinese people are great, are very ambitious, are very much also living their own identity, so a kind of a Chinatown in Basel would be great. And to enforce the presence of Chinese people in our city would be great. Also, it would be great to have some kind of physical imprint, let's say Shanghai garden or pavilion or some kind of something like that. Honestly, I'm not so interested in expos worldwide. I think it's an old-fashioned model. And as an architect, I'm not involved personally. We haven't designed anything here. However, I think there are some very good designs, namely also the Swiss pavilion, I think, is a very interesting design. I'm interested, however, to see the expo because I'm involved in master planning the Expo 2015 in Milano, where we would like to depart from that model of national pavilions towards something which is more an all-over kind of a exhibition, a new model for world exhibitions in the future. Well, I think the Shanghai Expo is very much like past ones. I cannot actually say, you know, no, I think is an old model, so you cannot make it better. It's based on the national identity and the national pride and the national pavilions based on design. But this is not the real problem on this planet. If you talk about better cities, better life, I could imagine to put the theme more in the foreground and less the individual design of pavilions. It's a bit like a vanity show, not so much only here, but that's the history of world exhibitions. And I think sooner or later the people are tired to visit monster shows just to see national pavilions. I think we have to reinvent what the world exhibition could be in the future. But it's not so easy, of course.